So what's good, y'all? We are back with another video. And as you can see by the title, we're going to be talking about my favorite team, the New York Knicks, who are coming off one of their best seasons in a long time. Considering the circumstances of the long-term development of this organization and the short-term, it was the best season they've had since 2013. I could say with full confidence. The 2021 season was obviously really fun, but that one felt kind of fake in hindsight. This one feels real. And right now, with the offseason being around, the Knicks have been rumored in multiple trade talks. Paul George, OG Anunoby, James Harden, who knows, Joel Embiid in next offseason, who knows what can happen. I don't really want to talk about all that because, to be honest, I don't see any of those trades happening, except for maybe the chance Joel Embiid asks out next season, but that's for a different time. What I want to do is I want to talk about the Knicks in general right now as they are. Because being on Twitter and seeing Knicks content creators or Knicks Twitter, Knicks Twitter profiles, whatever, right? They go on there and some of them just ramble and rant about the Knicks like if they just didn't have a good season. Like if they just didn't basically just be one game away or 2 games away from the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't understand what's the complaints. I understand some people want the Knicks to take the big swing, but do you want them to make the wrong move? I don't think you want them to do that. I mean, Paul George, for example, perfect basketball fit. But do you really want the Knicks to trade away an RJ Barrett and a Quentin Grimes with picks for a 33-year-old Paul George who would then want a contract extension the same night? That's a tricky situation, And I don't blame Knicks fans for being a little impatient, but you just got to stay the course. I think you got to stay the course with this team. They're in a very good spot. Very good spot. We're going into next season. Dante DiVincenzo's a Knick. Obi Toppin's out. But Dante DiVincenzo should be able to fit Obi Toppin's role. What we used Obi for was corner threes, space the floor when Julius is out the game, be a presence out there that can help the Emmanuel Quickleys of the world and the backup guys, RJ Barrett, who runs with the backup squad, basically go out there and take over. And like I said, be a spacer. And Dante DiVincenzo can do that. Being in the corner, being one of the best corner three-point shooters in the league last season, he's going to fit perfectly fine. Another person that can guard wings. He's a very good defender. He's a very good rebounder. He should be fine. I don't know why there are Knicks fans complaining about the Dante DiVincenzo signing like if he isn't a good basketball player. I just don't get it. Obi Toppin, I think, will have a really good season in Indiana if they give him an opportunity. And they don't go out there and trade for like Siakam or whoever the rumors have been for the Pacers recently. But if they stay with the squad they have, I think Obi should be able to shine. Playing with the fast-paced Indiana Pacers squad and Tyrese Halliburton leading the way, I think they should be fun. But the Knicks are in a good spot. I don't understand what's the complaints. I really don't. The season was a success. It was a success. There was an improvement from the young core. Quickly was a 6th Man of the Year candidate. Mitchell Robinson basically was the key piece to the first round win versus the Cavs. RJ Barrett turned it up in the playoffs after the first 2 games of the Cleveland series. Quentin Grimes proved to be a great 3-and-D player at such a young age, and I think he has room for improvement to do more. Julius Randle, he regathered himself after that horrible 2022 season and had a great 2023 regular season. Were the playoffs great? No. Major concern for me with him. I understand he had injury, but everybody's banged up in the playoff time. And Julius Randle still concerns me. His shot diet, the shots that he takes, a lot of them are very difficult shots. And in the playoffs, you're tired, you're hurt. Those shots probably aren't going to go down the same that they would in the regular season. But you can also say maybe it's just the pressure. Maybe he's just not built for it. Who knows? They're probably going to have Randle on the team next season, and assuming the Knicks are in the playoffs, he has a third chance to prove himself that he can play in the playoffs, because right now I have my concerns, but like I mentioned earlier, that's for a different video at a different time. Also, the 2022 offseason was a success. I was out here saying I didn't want Jalen Brunson because I thought that he was good, but, quickly I wanted him to get his shot. And to be honest, I think I would have been right either way, but Jalen Brunson has been way better than advertised, and I apologize. So you know what? I'm not going to say I was right. I'm going to say that Quickly would have been very good as a starter, but not Jalen Brunson good. Jalen Brunson has been arguably superstar caliber level player. Close. You could say close to a superstar caliber level player, and he's the best contract in the NBA, in my opinion, hands down. The Knicks have a chance. They have a window now where if they make the right trade, they can catapult themselves into contention. I've never said those words in my life. And that's because of this man, Jalen Brunson. It's because of him. I think they got a window. I don't understand why people are complaining. It's just the beginning. Now I understand there's some PTSD with the Knicks. They always seem to mess things up. And I understand they failed Obi Toppin and they got 2 second-round picks for a guy that was a lottery pick and they didn't get his true value, but it happens. Not every front office is perfect. What you can hope for this Knicks squad, if they stay healthy, is playoff basketball. Now, for me, I don't want them to get bumped in the first round. If they get bumped in the first round in the playoffs, they took a step back. If they can get to the second round and lose or go to the Eastern Conference Finals, or even better, go to the finals, which making, it have to be like miraculous for them to get there. But either one of those options, second round, conference finals, or finals, it's a good step. Second round, if they lose to the right team, I'll give them a pass. Just be more competitive, show development, internal development as a team, show that this team gets closer and closer to being a contender, and I'm fine, I'm fine with where the Knicks are at. I just don't understand what's the complaining about. When you look at the Knicks right now, they're in a great position. They're in the best position that this team has been in since basically the 90s, if you want to talk about from having a solid young core, having good actual players on the roster in Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, having a rim protector, Mitchell Robinson, who's also part of the young core, having one of the best benches in the NBA. What's there not to like besides the fact that they might be a little small on the bench because there's no backup power forward, and Josh Hart will basically be taking those minutes when Randle sits. What's there to complain about? I just don't understand why people on Twitter and people on social media are crying about the Knicks like if they just had the worst season in franchise history. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. I'm excited for next season. And who knows what can happen in this offseason. Maybe they go and they trade for an OG Anunoby and it makes them a team that can, make some more noise in the East. Not saying they'll be a contender, but it's another good piece to add to the roster. Another young player that can play defense, hit the three, and maybe has some untapped potential to him if they can unlock it. But that's really what I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to talk about this Knicks team because I've seen a lot of people crying, complaining, and it's just been really confusing. Like, the Knicks are more closer to contention than they are to a lottery team, but a lot of people just don't want to acknowledge that. They just want to go back to being a team that's losing every single game, and you got the hopes and dreams of getting the number one pick. Never happens. We end up with the 5th pick, 6th pick, 7th pick, 8th pick, and we're still looking for a cornerstone piece. Why don't you just enjoy what you have? Jalen Brunson, cornerstone piece. If you can add a guy that's better to him, you have a shot to really win this thing if you build the right team. So anyways, that's going to do it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Link will be down in the description below. This has been the Checkup, where we talk hoops and hoops only, and I'll see y'all in the next video.